Stay tuned for Airgun Detectives.
Welcome to another episode of Airgun Detectives. I'm your host JC, and today I'm bringing you something pretty special. It's the all-new AEA Challenger Pro Long Barrel Generation 2. And I will show you the difference between the Generation 1 and the Generation 2. But before we get started on this, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button down there in the corner. It doesn't cost you anything. It's absolutely free, but it really helps support the channel. Also, check out the website, www.airgundetectives.com. On that site, I've got the Generation 2 bipods for you brake barrel and side lever, under lever shooters. Perfect setup for you. Check that out when you have a chance. Also have t-shirts. I got hats. You gamma shooters that have the brake barrels that shoot the SAT or CAT triggers. I've got a trigger screw kit for you. Really reasonable, but it will turn that trigger into a match grade style trigger. It really will. And also check out my personal inventory. Some things end up on there, you'd be surprised. I try to rotate things through to be able to make room and be able to afford some new subject material, which is other air guns. So let's get back to this. This is the AEA Challenger Pro Generation 2. You guys know I already did the video on the standard Challenger, but this is the Generation 2. This is the Pro. This is AEA's newest version in the Challenger series. Okay, this one comes in 30 and 35 caliber. This one we're going to test today is actually in a 30 caliber. It's got a side lever. It's upgraded from the first generation. This one has a gnarled handle on it, which is kind of pretty cool. By the way, these handles on here are ambidextrous. You can switch them for either side that you like. So your side lever's set up. This does come with two magazines. This comes with two 9-round magazines. The 30 caliber has two 9-round magazines. Let's see, 29.5-inch barrel, because this is the long barrel. The gun weighs about 8.6 pounds. Okay, something new on this one. The actual air tank is larger than the standard Challenger. This one is a 500cc tank. You still have the 170cc Plinking, but together, now you're looking at 670 cc's of air, which is just a lot of air, that's for sure. Also, check this out. The filler probe on this model is threaded, so you can actually thread it into the gun and leave it there, so you don't have to be taking it in and out, which is tremendous. So you basically just have the Foster type fitting exposed all the time, which is awesome. You get a little cap for it if you want, maybe help keep the dust out of it, but it's really neat that you can thread that in there now. Also, this one has an adjustable hammer spring, and if you can see, there's an opening right here, and you can see where your hammer spring adjustment is. This one happens to be all the way back right now, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But this is tremendous adjustable hammer spring. It's real simple. You open up the stock, there's an Allen bolt right there, and you just adjust it inward or outward, wherever you want to set your hammer spring, which is great. But I really like that, the threaded probe. That's really cool. Had to go back to that anyway. This is a 300 bar fill or 4,500 PSI. What type of performance are you going to get out of it? Oh, wait, before I get into that, this does have an adjustable transfer port. You can see there's a wheel right here, and you can adjust that. So this gun, you can really fine tune it. Think about it. Oh, and the biggest thing on this, look what they have now, is your regulator adjuster. And so on the older models, you had to degas this thing, remove the tank, and adjust it underneath. This, it's on the exterior now, so you can adjust it right here on the gun, which is tremendous. It really is. But remember, anytime you're adjusting a regulator, it doesn't matter what the guns are. If you want to go up in pressure, that's fine. You can increase it while there's air in the tank. But if you want to go down in pressure, you got to degas it to get below the area that you want to go, so your target area. All right, let's throw this back on. Again, it does come with the Picatinny rail right here, which is great for your accessories. One thing I do like about this gun is all metal, which is nice. What type of performance are they going to tell you it's going to get? They say you can get about 135 foot-pounds of energy out of this, and that's probably with it adjusted, the hammer spring adjusted in, your regulator set high, and your obviously transfer port on max. But they say it'll shoot about 1,100 feet per second with a 50 grain pellet. So that's 135 foot-pounds of energy. The safety on this is ambidextrous, so either side you can flip it. Pretty cool. It's got a nice rubber texturized grip here. It's kind of AR style. And again, told you before, this gun's all metal. You do have an adjustable cheek rest here. Cheek rest is not metal. It's some type of carbon type plastic, but you can adjust that. Anyway, the gun does not come with sights, so where did I top it off today? One of Discovery's newest. And if you guys followed me for a while, you're gonna know I really like these Discovery scopes. I have not been disappointed on one yet. So this is their newest one put out by Discovery. This is a compact scope. This is a HD, as in high definition, because these all have high definition glass. This is a 2-12 by 24, and it's a 30 millimeter. And this has a side focus. It also has a lit reticle. It's got a mil dot style reticle on it. Really neat scope. And also, it's got Discovery's own scope mounts. They're making scope mounts now. You see I put some high mounts on here so I could get the magazine in and out nice and easy. But we're going to go ahead and test the scope along with the rifle. We'll go through our usual testing process, but a little surprise for you. We're going to change up a little things because this is a tremendous PCP and I want to get some distance on it. So we're going to change up a few things and you'll see that as it comes. So anyway, I do have this one tuned down because I kind of want to see more of the shot counts, and I'll get specifics on that later. But let's move on to the next segment and see how this performs. All right, let's test out our AEA Challenger Pro Generation 2. This one's in 30 caliber once again, and we're going to shoot 5 shots over the Chrony. We're just going to see how we make out here. We're going to be shooting AEA's own center punch pellets. These are a 45 grain pellet. So let's just shoot 5 shots, see how we make out. Now this regulator I got set at about 2800. It's about 2800 PSI. So let's just see how well we do. All right. Fire in the hole. Shot number 1. 908. Shot number 2. 965. Shot number 3. 970. Shot number 4. 979. And shot number 5. 978. Yep, there you go. That's our 30 caliber 5 shots. Not too shabby a foot-pounds of energy on that one, that's for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, let's test the trigger in our Challenger Pro Gen 2 and see what type of pull weight we got. They're not the lightest trigger, but they're very, very controllable. It's a good all-around trigger. All right, but I've never actually tested the weight on this one, so let's test it out here. All right. 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. Like I said, not too heavy, not too light. It's a good all-around trigger. It really is. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, we're going to do a little accuracy test with our Challenger Pro. This is our Gen 2. 30 caliber, as we talked about before. We're going to use the AEA Center Punch Diablo pellets. And as you guys can tell by the surroundings here, we are at a different location than my backyard. We came out to the Mary Elena Ranch, which is my buddy Carl's place. So he was kind enough to let us come out here and do some shooting. With that, I was able to set up a 65-yard target. So go ahead, check this out real quick. You can see it up there. So we get there you go. So now we can see how well this thing groups at 65 yards. And again, these are the 30 caliber. They're a 45 grain pellet. We'll shoot 5 shots. I'm just going to aim dead center, and we'll see how well it groups. All right? Okay. Oh, and again, we are using our splatterburst targets. These are our 8-inch targets, just from that type of distance, so I can actually see the target. All right. Again, 5 shots. All right. Shot number 1. Not bad. Let's hope I can keep them up. All right, shot number 3. Looking good so far. Let's hope we can keep this up. Okay, shot number 4. And one more. Come on. I hope I don't jinx this. Got to keep this going. All right, one more. Wow. I'll take that every time, especially at 65 yards. That's a heck of a group. Definitely. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, guys, my favorite portion of any video is plinking, because this is where we get to shoot stuff, blow stuff up, which is great. So this time we're going to go ahead and shoot some H&N slugs. These are a 50 grain slug. H&P puts these out. They're actually very accurate in this rifle. We're about 50 yards out for our plinking. Go ahead and check it out real quick. You can see we have a propane tank, we got a pot, we've got some cans, and the grand finale is a watermelon. Hopefully it'll be a nice impact on that. I'm not so sure. We have the regulator actually set on this at 2300 psi. I think I said 27 or 28 during the chrono, but it's actually 2300 psi. So we set it so we get a lot more shots out of it, and we're getting that right in that 70, close to 80 foot-pounds of energy. You can definitely increase it if that's what you want. Anyway, I'm using this Discovery scope. I am really loving their scopes. This is a compact scope. This is the, I think this is the 2x, let's see, oh, it's the 4. This is the 4x12, and really cool scope. I'll talk to you more about it later. I'm thinking this one might be a good fit for my AR as well. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. I'm going to start with the propane can on the left side. All right. Can we go through that pot? I would say so. And let's see, a can. And another can. You know what? I don't like those things sitting up there on the counter. Let's get rid of them. I guess they're gonna stay there. All right, let's try this watermelon. I put a nice little hole in it. A little less of an explosion than I thought it would be, but not a bad little hole. And there. You can't finish a plinking session with leaving targets up on the stand there. We had to take those down. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. We'll go ahead and wrap this up. All right, let's wrap this up with our conclusion. Man, this Generation 2 Challenger Pro, whoa, what a performer. Really is. Hey, I also want to thank our buddy Carl for allowing us to go out to his ranch and test this rifle out. Like I mentioned, we were able to get 65 yards out to check out the performance at a farther distance, but this did not disappoint. But like anything else, what would be my negatives on this rifle? I would say the fact they still don't give you a fully adjustable trigger. Now this trigger's not bad. As you guys saw, it broke at 3.9 ounces, which makes it a tremendous hunting trigger. And guess what? This rifle is really designed for hunting. I mean, the 30 caliber, yeah, the way I have it set up right now, I got it set up for plinking, and it's quite the performance. The trigger's not bad at all. I mean, 3.9 ounce or 3 pounds 9 ounces is not bad, but it would be nice to be able to fine tune it. All right, let's get into the positives. All right, first off, I love the external regulator on this where we can adjust it. It's fantastic that way. You don't have to take the tank out and degas it, take the tank out, and do what we do in the previous Challenger models. But this one, you can adjust it right from the outside, which is great. And I love the fact that you have all this adjustment on this gun. So think about it. You've got a hammer spring that's adjustable, and I showed you briefly in the beginning. There's just there's an Allen wrench behind this. You just open the stock up and Tap into that Allen right there. Adjust your hammer spring. You got your gauge on the side. We'll see where your hammer spring is. You have your transfer port right here. You can adjust that easily. And now you have the external regulator. So you really can fine tune this to your liking. I also love the fact that the probe now is threaded in here. I mean, that's awesome. So you don't have to worry about where did I put the probe. It's right there with the gun the whole time. I would suggest maybe you find a little cap for this if you're in a lot of dusty area, just to help keep the dust out of it. That might be good. I love the larger tank on this model. This one, as I said before, has a 500cc tank as opposed to the 350cc tank on the previous ones, but it still has a large plenum. If you guys don't know what the plenum is, that's the small tank after the regulated air. So here's your pressurized air, then it goes through the regulator, and this is the pressure in here, which is actually regulated. So that's pretty neat. Also, let's talk about the accuracy. Outstanding. You saw I was shooting at 65 yards, and on camera, and I even got better groups, but on camera, we had just a little over a half-inch group in our 5-shot group, but tremendous accuracy. So you also get this, with this big tank, you get a fantastic shot count. You really do. So in fact, I charted this out for you. So what we did though, is I set the hammer spring to 0, so all the way back to the end, because I wanted to see how many shots we could actually get out of this. We also adjusted our regulator to roughly around 2200 psi, and we set the transfer port at max. With that, shooting the own AEA 45 grain pellets, we got 65 regulated shots, and that gave us an average of 978 feet per second and 95 foot-pounds of energy. Not bad for a low setting. And what about that shot count? That's just incredible. It really is. Anyway, overall, yeah, I just like the fact that you can adjust this to your liking, whatever. Like I said, the hammer spring, the transfer port, and the external regulator. And again, on the external regulator, when you adjust those, if you want to go up in pressure, that's fine. You can do it with air in the tank. If you want to go down in pressure, you got to get below the pressure that you want to adjust it to. So you're going to have to degas it down below that pressure to get that set. Anyway, overall, tremendous performance. But let's talk a little bit now about the scope. You guys know, again, I'm going to repeat myself, I do not bring you any products as far as scopes goes and accessories unless I really like them, because it's not worth talking about if not. These Discovery scopes are not disappointing me at all. This one is under $200. This is their compact HD glass 2-12 by 24. I'm telling you, the glass is so clear on this. You saw we were shooting at 65 yards and the sight picture was just tremendous. So outstanding scope. And by the way, they do make their own scope mounts now, scope rings and one-piece mounts. But check these out. It's pretty good looking. Pretty good looking. But the quality of these things, just amazing. And then here's a couple others. But yeah, you can check these guys out for the different scope. I mean, look at these mounts. This is obviously for like their 34 millimeter, but larger. But look at them. It's just beautiful. The way they're machined, the whole bit. Great scope rings, and really reasonable. All their optics and stuff are so reasonable. They really are. So go ahead and check those out. And don't forget, if you are interested in any of these AEA products, Ben at the Pellet Shop, he's my go-to guy. He has tremendous selection, and he also has the knowledge behind it. If you have any questions, in fact, he's done several videos, you can see them on his website, on how to adjust the regulator or how to move the charging handle or side lever, whatever you want to call it, to the other side, because again, it's ambidextrous. So I'll leave you guys a link for Ben at the Pellet Shop, and I'll also leave you guys a link for this scope, because this is one tremendous performing optic, that's for sure. Well, anyway, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Airgun Detectives. Oh, and if I didn't cover it, this rifle, without a doubt, 5 stars, scope's 5 stars. Can't forget that now, can we? Okay, So with that, now that you know that 5-star performance is here, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget, this is where we take the mystery out of the air gun. Until next time, I hope you and your families are doing great and you're getting plenty of shooting in. So take care and God bless.